2026, 10 after 1 p.m. And we are expecting apparently quite an intense nor'easter here in the Maritimes. And for those of you who don't know, I live in rural Nova Scotia, in between Antigonish and on the way to Cape Breton. So I thought the storm was rolling in later on tonight, and apparently not. It's rolling in this afternoon. We've already been, the wind's already been picking up. So I have gone from working on my computer to working in the kitchen so that I can get dinner made earlier than I had planned. So I had taken out some chicken thighs to kind of make some homemade type of shake and bake chicken, because of course that's good cold. If the power goes out, we do have a generator. I just like to have things done ahead of time because the generator does pull on the oven quite a bit. So yeah, I am totally shifting my brain over to what if we don't have power for quite some time, because this could happen. It happened when I lived in New Brunswick years ago. We had no power for a week over Christmas. So, yeah. And we also have our wood stove here, so we are cozy warm. So I'm going to show you how I'm preparing for the big old storm of winter 2026. And hopefully this is it for the season, because we've actually had quite a good number of storms this year. So what am I going to do? Well, I've decided I'm going to make my grandma's chocolate cake, number one. Get that in the oven. Plus, when the oven's on, the house really holds even more heat. So that'll never hurt in the middle of a storm, because when you don't have your power on, you don't have your fans on to move the heat from the wood stove, right? Anyways, I'm going to make a chocolate cake, because also chocolate cake during a storm, is there anything better? Especially when it's my grandma's recipe. So I'm going to do that. And I've also decided I'm going to make some corn chowder, because I have some bacon left over in the fridge and a little bit of whipping cream I want to use up. And because I've been busy pressure canning potatoes when I was reorganizing my shelves downstairs, I have a bunch of jars of my potatoes and beans with a little bit of ham in it and a few onions. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, I'm not sure what else, but that's... Oh, and I'm going to pull out my thermoses so I can have one with hot water for tea, or if my husband wants some hot chocolate, and definitely a thermos of hot coffee. So those are all going to get done this afternoon. Because as I'm recording, I'm looking out the window and I can see the wind picking up big time. And apparently we could even be getting what's called thunder snow. I just read about this, but there could be thunder, and it's a thunder snowstorm, which means there's a pretty intense system coming. Fun. I have just boiled a kettle of water, so I'm putting it into a thermos, and I already filled up the other thermos with coffee. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to boil some eggs, because eggs are just such a great way to have something ready for a quick snack or to make some sandwiches, especially if the power goes out. So I just put my eggs in my Instant Pot with a cup of water. I put my eggs on the rack and I set it for 3 minutes, and they turn out beautifully every time. Now I'm making my Grandma ZINCK'S famous chocolate cake, and I'm not even joking. This cake is so well known back home in the Comox Valley, and now here in Nova Scotia with all my friends and family. I'm going to put the recipes down in the description below for you. What I'm doing first is mixing the dry ingredients. So it's 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, a teaspoon each of baking powder and baking soda, a dash of salt, and 3/4 of a cup of cocoa. And then I'm just going to mix those ingredients together. Next, it's time for the liquid ingredients. So I'm adding a teaspoon of vanilla and 1/2 cup of melted butter to 1 cup of boiling water. Now for the eggs, I'm using 2 eggs, and I like to crack each one in a bowl one at a time just to make sure there's no shells, because we don't want shells in our chocolate cake, or anything for that matter. So I'm just giving them a little whisk, and then I'm adding them to the rest of the ingredients. Once I have everything mixed well, I'm adding 1 cup of milk, and then that's everything for the liquid ingredients. And then I'm simply going to combine the liquid with the dry, and I'm just going to mix everything really well. Of course, you could use an electric mixer, but I'm just using my whisk and it works just fine. But you want to stir and stir and stir. I did edit some out of this video, but you want to stir it really well. It's going to be a runny batter, and then pour that into your greased 9x13 pan. And you're going to bake this for 25 to 30 minutes at 350 degrees. About 25 minutes into the baking is when I'll just put a toothpick or a wooden skewer in the center of the cake, and if it comes out clean, then I know the cake is done. While the cake is baking, I'm moving on to sauteing an onion in a little bit of butter for my corn chowder, and I also decided to cook up a pound of bacon. Since my oven's on anyhow, I thought I would have the cake on one side of the oven and put some bacon on the other. I do like to have bacon in the fridge for salads or BLTs, and I do like to use my Pampered Chef stoneware to cook my bacon. So I'm just going to get it all on the pan and put that in the oven alongside with the cake. I have some bacon already cooked in the fridge, so that's what's going to go in the chowder. And the cake is ready, and look at this. Oh my gosh, it smells and looks fantastic. All right, moving back to the chowder. I have pulled out a little bit of celery from my fridge. It's about the equivalent of 2 stalks. So I'm just slicing that up, and I'm going to saute this celery alongside with the onions. I'm a firm believer that you can take a recipe and tweak it to make it suit your own needs and your own tastes. So if you don't like onions or celery, you can skip them. But me personally, when I make my corn chowder, I love having the celery and the onion in this soup. So I'm just going to let that celery cook down just a little bit. Now I'm adding about 3 cloves of chopped garlic, and I'm just going to let that cook for about another minute or 2. Now I'm adding my bacon, and I know some people prefer it without, so that's a personal choice. And then I'm adding a heaping teaspoon of chicken bouillon. If I'm not using some of my canned chicken or turkey stock, this is what I use, and it's the Better Than Bouillon brand, which I think is fabulous. While I was stirring the soup, I could hear the wind, so I went to look out our front window and look at the snow has started, the storm has arrived, but my house is so nice and cozy and it smells so good. All right, I am moving on to opening up a jar of my canned potatoes that also has green beans and a little bit of ham in it. And I did can these with water, and I'm just going to dump the whole thing right into my pot. Now, if you don't have this in your pantry, of course you can use some frozen green beans, even some fresh green beans or canned green beans, and just peel and slice up some potato. Now the potatoes that were in my jar were a little bit on the big side, so I'm just cutting them up a little bit, and I'm also pulling out a little bit of the bay leaves that I had in the jars, and I'll add some fresher bay leaves in a few minutes. So I'm just going to continue with this until everything's a nice size with the potatoes. I'm using the same jar that my potatoes and beans were in, and just filled it up with water and poured that into my pot, pulled out that last little bit of bay leaf, and just give everything a good little stir. Now it's time to add the corn. I'm just using frozen corn kernels and I'm putting in about a cup to a cup and a half. I also decided to cook up some chicken thighs. I thought we could have them for dinner and the extras could be used for lunch the next day or even dinner tomorrow night as well. So I'm just literally putting on some Lawry seasoning salt, and then I'm going to add a little bit of the same Lawry seasoning salt to my soup. I added probably about 2 teaspoons to my soup. There goes in my bay leaf. I love bay leaves in my cooking. I also wanted to make sure I had food already cooked in the fridge for quick leftovers. Again, if our power goes out, it's quick and easy to warm up or eat cold or put the chowder on the wood stove to warm up. So that's why I'm preparing so many things today. I'm sprinkling parsley on top of the chicken now, and I also put some parsley into the chowder. A little black pepper, both on the chicken and in the chowder, and I'm just keeping the chicken really simple, and of course you could do the same thing with your favorite seasonings. I'm now sprinkling the chicken with just a tiny bit of garlic powder. Sometimes the simple dishes are amongst the best dishes, and I find that just seasoning chicken like this every now and then with a side of potatoes or rice or salad or pasta is just so delicious. Lastly, I'm adding a little bit of Italian seasoning to my chicken. Sometimes I'll use rosemary or I'll use a little bit of thyme, but I'm keeping it at that. And for the soup, I'm pulling in some of my dried sage that I grew in my garden last year. So I'm just crumbling that into my chowder, and I'm also going to add a little bit of rosemary and a little bit of thyme. I thought I was done seasoning my chicken, and then I thought, oh, maybe I should add a little bit of paprika. So that's what I did. A little bit of paprika on the chicken and a little bit of paprika in the pot of chowder. The chicken is going in the oven next to the bacon that's still cooking, and then that's going to make a really delicious supper. As the storm is intensifying outside, I thought I better pull out the flashlight and get it charged. I love this so much. We've bought them for our parents. They're amazing. I'll leave the link below for you. And I also decided to frost the cake. I'm just using a favorite chocolate icing. You could use any icing you like, buttercream, snow cloud, but I'm just using a standard cocoa buttercream icing. And this is something I don't ordinarily do. I don't normally put sprinkles on my cake, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to call it my Snowstorm cake, and I know my husband is going to love these sprinkles. They're little snowflakes and sprinkles from my sugar cookies, and he did. He absolutely loved this. So I'm going to put the cake back into the fridge and finish my chowder. So I've just added a tin of evaporated milk, and of course you need a tin of creamed corn. I would not skip the creamed corn. I think it's one of the secrets to really good corn chowder. The last ingredient that I'm going to add to my corn chowder is a little bit of whipping cream. Don't worry if you don't have whipping cream. You can use a little bit of half and half or 10% cream, or you could even use milk. But that is it for the soup, and thank goodness I filmed this, because this particular batch of corn chowder, you guys, turned out to be the very best that I have ever made in my life, and I have made this chowder 1,000 times, but for some reason this was hands down the best chowder. We ate this 4 nights in a row. It was so good, so I hope you enjoy it too. But for tonight, with the storm coming, I've decided we are going to have just a little cup of the chowder, and we're going to have the chicken, and I'm just flipping the chicken over in the oven just to make sure both sides get nice and browned and caramelized and even a little bit crispy. I'm going to make some rice in my Instant Pot to have as a side with our chicken. So I'm just using long grain rice. I always rinse my rice, and I have 2 cups of rice so that we have some left over, and I'm going to add that to my Instant Pot. For 1 cup of rice, I use 1 1/4 cup of water. So because I have 2 cups of rice, I'm using 2.5 cups of water. a little pinch of salt, and then I'm going to set my Instant Pot on for only 3 minutes. Now I know the Instant Pot has an actual rice button, and there's all kinds of recipes online for rice in the Instant Pot, but me personally, I have had perfect rice every single time cooked this way, and I just let it do the natural pressure release. And then I just fluff it up, and it's marvelous. So I'm also going to roast up some asparagus, but I want to show you the eggs that I boiled in the Instant Pot too, because the eggs in the Instant Pot, look at, they peel perfectly. And I know a lot of people struggle with peeling boiled eggs, but look at this. The shells just slide right off the egg, so I'm having a little snack. And now I've cleaned my asparagus, and I'm just breaking off the tips because you don't want to eat the tips, like the end, the thicker tips, because they're going to be tough. And I'm putting them on the pan that the bacon was cooked on so that the asparagus is going to bake in that leftover bacon grease, which there's not a lot, but my gosh. It is going to be so good. And my husband works at a plant here in town where they make bacon, so he literally brings home the bacon and it is the best bacon. All I'm doing to season the asparagus is adding a little bit of pepper and a little bit of a seasoning blend that I like to make that has a little bit of cumin, a little bit of paprika and oregano, and a little bit of pepper and a teeny bit of salt. In the oven it goes. By the time the asparagus is done roasting, the chicken will be done too. So Coop and I are going to venture outside and see what's going on in the snowstorm. It is really stormy, really windy, and the snow is coming down fast and furious. But look at little Cooper. Oh my gosh, he loves the snow. He is one happy little hound. Now look at him peeking around. Are you coming, Mom? Oh my goodness, Coop. A few days ago, we decided to have a winter bonfire with our friends because we love having our bonfires. And we weren't going to let winter get in our way of having fun. So Brian took the snowblower and he made an amazing path right to our fire pit. And we had so much fun with our friends. Well, unbeknownst to me and Cooper, the snowstorm filled in the path to the fire pit. And neither one of us knew this. I called him over. He's running for the path and like a little snowplow, boof! Cooper's like, what the heck happened? No matter, Cooper's still happy to be outside in the snow and having some fun. Next time you come out, you're going to have your heavy snow coat on. Yes. Considering the fact we had a bonfire at -10 the other night, it's a lot different than being outside in a snowstorm with that wind. So Cooper and I were really ready to go inside where it was nice and warm and cozy. Oh my goodness, look how covered you are. My goodness. It was a very productive day, and I'm so glad I was able to prepare some meals ahead of time that we can enjoy over the next week, as well as our supper, which was fantastic, and so was that chowder and chocolate cake. Please let me know if you try these recipes, and thank you so much for spending time with me today. Until next time, take care, and remember, life is short, so make the most of that dash in between.